Hey everyone, it's Laurel here today to show you a card I made using the Design Memory Crafts Faber Castell Gelatos. And this is the card I made, and I love that technique. I'm calling it the dripping technique that I used, that I created with the gelatos. They're so much fun. These gelatos are like little tiny chapsticks. They're very creamy. And I'm taking a red, an orange, and a purple. And all the supplies and the exact colors that I used and everything will be linked up on the supply list below in my YouTube description and also on my blog post. And that will be linked up in the description as well. So I've got a red, a purple, and an orange here, and I'm applying it pretty liberally here. I want a good coating of these colors up here at the top until I get a good coating here. And then once I'm satisfied with where the colors are, I'm going to start to create the dripping technique. And to do this, it's really quite easy and quite cool. You're going to take water. You can actually use Perfect Pearls if you want to, but this is just regular water. And the first thing I do is just wet the card base there, just so the colors can start to blend together. And then standing it upright, I'm going to take it and I'm going to squirt the mess out of it. And you can see all the drips starting to create here. It's really cool. And you can bang it and tap it, and you can add more water. The more water you add, the more drips you're going to get. It's really neat. And once I was done and happy with all the dripping, I went ahead and set it aside to dry. So this is the look that I got just by adding water, holding it upright, and tapping and making all the drips, and this is the outcome, and I just love it. I think it is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to pair this with a stamp set. It's from it's from the newest Mama Elephant release, actually. I think the stamp set is called Sightseeing. And I'm taking this bridge. I love it. Love the image. Love the stamp set. It's so much fun. And I'm going to, rather than use a traditional black, I'm going to grab this Hero Arts charcoal shadow ink. It's a very pretty deep gray, and I just love it. And I'm picking it up with my Martha Stewart fitted press. And I'm going to just ink up my stamp set here with the shadow ink and stamp it. And I just think it's a really pretty soft gray that will pair nicely with this kind of wild background. It's just really pretty. Isn't that bridge pretty? I want to go walking on it. If I wasn't afraid of heights, I probably would. Well, if I lived in New York, I probably would. And I don't. And I am afraid of heights. So I probably will never walk on it. But regardless, moving on. So I've gone ahead and stamped this down. And look how pretty it is. It's just a nice soft look. So what I'm doing now is I'm cleaning my stamp, because the next step usually is to put your sentiment. Well, I didn't think about where I was going to put my sentiment, and I do that all the time. I don't know why I never learn, never. So I'm sitting here kind of panicking a little bit, trying to figure out where I'm going to put this sentiment. So still have no idea where I'm going to put it, so I'm just going to go ahead and create a sentiment strip. So what I'm going to do is pick up this stamp set, sentiment from the same stamp set. I'm going to scribble on two different color gelato colors. I'm going to do the purple first and then go in with the red a little bit. Now you can't contaminate your gelato, so don't worry about adding color on top of color because you can't contaminate them. And I just added a few squirts. You don't want to add too much water to a sentiment because then your sentiment will get all kind of muddy and you won't be able to read what it says. So I just did 2 squirts from about, I don't know, about 3 feet away. And then you get this beautiful watercolored stamp sentiment, 2 different colors. It's really quite pretty. And I just love the gelatos. There's so much you can do with it, and I love the 2 different tones. I'm going to go ahead and heat set it so I can go ahead and figure out where in the world I'm going to put this sentiment. And now one thing I want to point out about gelatos, they are permanent once they are dry. So once they are completely dry from just letting them sit out and drying or using your heat gun or whatever, when they're dry, they're permanent. They will not smudge. You do not need to use a fixative when you're using these gelatos. So I've gone ahead and masked off a portion of my card here to protect the back of my card, but I'm going to mess it up anyway. So I'll tell you how I fixed that. But that was my goal here, just to mask off so I don't mess up the back of the card. And I thought that I needed to tie in the colors of the panel that we just created to the card base. So I'm going to go ahead and scribble on some purple, and I'm going to blend that out with my finger, and then I'm going to go in and add some red, and I'm going to blend that out with my finger. Now with gelatos, they react to the moisture, so when you're blending with your finger, it's reacting to the natural oils in your skin. So that's pretty neat. Now this isn't looking all that pretty right now, but it will all go together, I promise you. So I'm going to go ahead and layer the red right on top of the purple and blend that together again. When I'm done with the red, I will just scribble off on a scratch piece of paper and it will remove all the purple from the gelato. You can't contaminate. And once I've got that all nice and blended, I'm still having no idea what I'm going to do with the sentiment panel. So I'm going to go ahead and color that one up with some gelatos too while I'm kind of panicking still. And I've gone ahead and gone in with a yellow, and then I'm going to go around the edges with an orange. Just thought it would be a nice pop of color for this mystery sentiment that's going to go somewhere on my card. And I'm going to add a little bit more orange. I want to make sure I got a nice duo of color here. I just love these little chapsticks. I've never seen anything like it. Don't think there's anything like it on the market. They're so fun, so easy to use. And I actually created a little video series called Simply Gelatos where I incorporated a lot of different techniques I discovered while playing with these. So I'll link those up on the blog below as well. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere my panel, the panel that we created, to the card base there. That over to the left. It's not looking all that pretty. It's not all that blended, but once we go ahead and layer it on top, I think you'll see that it will all tie together very nicely. Now this is some Scotch double-sided tape here. I finally invested in the big roll not too long ago, and I love it. I'm so glad I did because it beats putting all the little squares and circles on panels of this size. You can just put down your strips, peel off the backing, and you're good to go. It saves a lot of time. And it's worth the investment. It's a little pricey, but you're getting a lot in that roll. So now I'm going to go ahead. You can see I've already messed up the back of that card there. See up there at the top? Oh well. So I've gone ahead and applied that panel down, and I think it all looks good now. See, not to panic, not to panic. So now I'm going to put some dimension on that sentiment strip, and I've decided I'm going to put it up on the left corner at an angle. And we're going to go with that, and I think it's going to look great, and it's going to look like I always intended, that was where the sentiment was going to go from the beginning. No one will know the difference. And to cover up that mistake that I made on the back of the card with a smudge of purple, I just cut another piece of cardstock the same size, and I just adhered it right over the back. So nobody will know that I was all messy with my gelatos. So that's the card for today. I think it's pretty. That sentiment, of course, always was meant to be there. I planned my whole card around that sentiment. And I just love this dripping technique, and I hope you'll give the gelatos a try. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.